A warm welcome to you, Dr. Ramesh Wadhwani, to the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. You are someone who has been coming to Bhagawan for more than 40 years and has been very deeply associated with his mission. We would want to hear from you about your journey from someone who was curious and didn't know who Swami was and discovering who this person is to becoming someone who cannot now imagine his life without Swami. So take us through that journey, please.
We did not know much about Swami. My wife did a little bit of it in Pune, basically, because he had visited behind her house. So about Swami, Harry, all those misunderstandings of the community at large those days. So that was the only notion she had. I had no knowledge of Swami. I was in Indian Institute of Science here for 2 years, 69 to 71. Yet I was not fortunate to hear about Swami coming to Malleshwaram, which was just a stone's throw away from where I was. I went to the United States and worked there, and part of the journey of to do my doctorate in biomedical engineering. And over there, I worked for the company called Artronics, building non-invasive diagnostic equipments. And we built CT scanner, and part of my thesis was very responsible to build the cross-sectional images from the X-ray scans taken at multiple angles. And we built the product, but the product did not go too far in terms of its availability of capital to produce it in masses. So company closed down, and I was looking for a job after that. And just so happens in that time frame or next few months, nothing much had happened in search of a job for 4 to 6 months or say. But I was an angel, a good friend was an angel who took us to Swami in that fashion. That she was looking to go, she heard about Swami. Her name is Renu Bhambani. And she told Sunita, can you take me to Sai Center? I understand there's one in St. Louis. So she took her Sai Center, and that weekend I was just out for an interview in Boston area. So when I came back, she kind of was very excited that she went to Sai Center. Unbeknown to me, she has challenged Swami while she was there. I understand you're God, so can you find job for my husband, And if that happens, I then believe you're God. That was a kind of prayer or challenge, whatever you want to put it, basically. And so she took me the following week, and for Thursday bhajans in the evening. The moment I entered Sai Center there, it was an American Sai Center, and in downtown St. Louis, the picture of Swami right at the entrance of the center on the altar just captivated my heart. And when I saw it, I said, "Boy, God, this is God. I met God." Just my heart spoke it out, and I did not have anybody's conventions or somebody talking to me about it. It was my inner conversation, just contact with Swami. It was instantaneous. I didn't need any proof. I did not need any to read any further books about it. It just so happened. And after that, the challenge the Swami, the Sumita I given to Swami, she had never disclosed to me. But she was surprised that every week, Thursday, for next 9 weeks, I had a job offer. From Northwest to West Coast to Northeast to locally in St. Louis, Florida. I was confused with jobs basically at that point in time. I was not getting any for 6 months, and here they I got 9 weeks, 9 jobs, and it was just timed so coincidentally. They've come on Thursday, and that was the biggest kind of miracle for me. It says, who is that person who could be orchestrating the delivery of the job offer by a courier on Thursday, telling the human resources to get this resume to this person in this town, let it arrive on Thursday. That in itself was kind of biggest miracle for me. And as she saw a couple weeks going through, she said, Ramesh, I didn't tell you this, but this is Swami's doing. Because that's what I told him. And now he is our God. period. But before you take a job, whichever you want to take, you must go to Swami and get his blessings. And here I am, don't know where Puttaparthi is. I had three little children. One is in 7, 8 years old. Then there was a newborn baby. Arti was like 1 year old then, and Manoj was 3 years old or so. And we took them, we dropped them in the grandparents' house, and then we, to the last 3 days of our journey to go take a new job. I think I believe I arrived on Thursday or so to Puttaparthi here. And the driver tells me, looks like Swami is going to, because he was passing, coming in, he was passing by. And then he says, he's going to Bangalore. So we said, "Oh, what do you do?" We turned around, he was just going by nearby with cow shed. Oh, Gokulam, he was going there. And that's where I saw Swami going to cows and patting them and say, shame on us, we eat non-veg food. My heart told me, here on, you will not eat meat. Just seeing Swami with the cows. Then when Swami came back, we drove back, we went behind him, Swami. So that first day evening, nothing happened on darshan. Then comes Friday morning, Swami comes out, and those Swami used to come to the mandir from his house. And there used to be, in the front, there used to be handicapped people sitting up there. I took my seat behind, so hopefully I can get his attention. It was only for 2 days. And he came and he took my letter of gratitude to him, and he walked away. And this you won't believe it. I think you'll concur with me what my interpretation. He goes back the whole road down and goes sideways in the darshan compound. I see him autographing somebody's book. A shame on me. I had a book with me. I'm reading. I should ask him to autograph. You won't believe it. He made a U circle and came all the way back to tracking to me, and he asked for the book. And he autographed with blessings, with love and blessings. Sri Sathya Sai Baba. He dated it and get the book at that point. He autographed that, and then as he get the book back to me, he says, "Where are you from?" I said, "Swami, from St. Louis." Very happy, and he walked away. And so it happened, and the journey happened. And that time, the center president, where I went center first, St. Louis, he told me, Ramesh, when you go to Mandir, when you go to Swami Puttaparthi Ashram, you're going because he has a calling for you. Now, you cannot leave from there unless you take his permission. So that was a challenge. So I said, my wife said, he's autographed a book, and you all said, you want his blessings. He gave you a job. He autographed it. Now, why do you want this other thing in between? I mean, why putting that condition on yourself? I said, but I was told, so I have to think. So I had given my passport and my ticket, which I didn't have reservation to go back to catch international flight in next 24 hours. So I handed over to an unknown driver, which I took from the Bangalore airport, and just handed over my whole ID basically. And then I realized, how can I do that? But just again, it was miracle. I said, Saab, mujhe de do. I will get you reservation. I'll bring it back. So he brought the passport back. He got the reservation done. And he got next morning, we said, Saab, morning ko darshan mandir upar balcony. So Swami gave balcony darshan from the top. So take that darshan, and then you tell Swami, I'm leaving. That's good enough. So I said, no, I had to ask his permission. So that day, and my flight was 11:30 noon time basis. Swami took darshan like 7:30 in the morning, and it's almost 3.5, 4 hours drive to the Bangalore airport. So you cut too short. So my wife was upset. The driver said, if you will. We went, I sat in darshan, but Swami came a little before 7 o'clock. Believe me or not, I had a note on my hand says, if you want me to leave, please take my note. If you don't want me to leave, then I'll stay back. It's your will. Maybe the job is not for me. He came out of the Mandir straight, past the handicapped people. I was other side wait autograph book for somebody else. I was second row. He came straight to me, just like a pigeon coming, and just take my note. He came in, took my note, and just walked away. That was my first test of faith with Bhagawan. And it was His grace, He made it possible. Even though we were very hand to mouth journey, I had to buy 2 tickets for me and myself, and 2 tickets for my children. The youngest was free, show under two. But yet I had to come up with the money basically. And that's a miracle itself, which probably can cover next time, or I can do cover here. You may want to cover a note or not, basically. So maybe you can. It's just I didn't have money, and my wife said, "You must go, Swami." I said, "No, if you go, we all had to go." I said I could borrow money, but there are not too many lenders. One person said, "I'll lend you money for your ticket." The next day morning, when the conversation happened at night time, I got 2 credit cards in the mail. Those days, you get unsolicited credit cards, plastic cards. It was very easy to get. First time in my life, I had 2 credit cards. One had $1,000 limit, other one 1,500. It was enough that I could buy 4 tickets under a little $2,400 with $100 to spare. And when I saw me here, when he came back, one of the credit cards never came. The invoice never came. So like Swami paid portions of the ticket basically. It's a mystery. When He calls you, when things happen, He is step ahead of you, or so to say, and watching over you. My passport could have been lost, my driver could have run away, XYZ, but He was controlling every element that exists in the creation, that making sure that everything goes to a T. And the fact that He just stood in front of me and took my book and autographed it, and the second time round He came through, I was very much mesmerized. I'm just nobody. I'm an ordinary soul. And here is interacting in front of God. I didn't expect anything of that sort. It was just very captivating. He kind of reinforced the faith that I had on the first seeing the picture. He made a closure to that. And the closure is what really connected me to Swami. My friends said also about me, why do you just every year, so expensive to go to India, you're taking all your children to India annually, spending all that 10 grand a year or more, and it's just waste of money. Plus, you have any audience with them, and you keep running around. You must be crazy. My friends around would just talk like that in general, but I said, that is my investment in my children for their culture. So they meet the grandparents, and they're getting the culture. My whole investment for my children should also benefit in the early stages of Swami's influence upon them in terms of teachings, Bal Vikas, and things like that.
So you kept coming to Prasanthi after that every year, even though Bhagawan didn't talk to you or you didn't get any interviews or anything, no personal audience with Swami, but you just kept coming.
Yes, we came every year. Occasionally we seen darshan. Another couple of books got translated. Every year we would be sitting up there, and the one thing that was constantly being asked by Swami, not only the time we ordered our first book, where are you from? I said, from St. Louis. The next time he came, I said, where are you from? I'm from Roanoke, Virginia. And some other time, where are you from? I'm from Shelton, Connecticut. I accept him as God. The confusion in my mind is, why is he asking this question? It's not registering in me. So he says, why are you so much worried about this? He's the Lord of the universe. He moves around and sees tens of thousands of people around, and He chooses to talk to you a sentence or two. You should be excited about it. I mean, just don't read too much into it. So I said, okay. I accepted that basically going through. And one day I was reading a book, Kasturi's son had written a book, and in that, when I randomly opened the page that day, says, Swami often asks the students or people, where are you from? And the students know, I am from you. They tell you immediately, small children. And that's what they're expecting for you to understand that you're part of God. So now I got it. Guess what? 2 years went by, he never asked a question. And one fun morning, we're sitting in Purnachandra Hall. My son was next to me. He was probably 12, 13 years by then. And he asked me Purnachandra Hall. I gave him some report, and he accepted it. And he used to take my reports and all that. And so that was my conversation with Swami, exchanging letters and reporting to him. And I was happy with it. So I gave it to him, and then he just asked, "Where are you from?" I said, "Swami, from Shelton Center." Ah, happy. And the moment he went, my God, even my son was, "Dad, you're not supposed to say that." So I apologized in terms of Swami, I had to be better than that. So it just happened. Then it was 1990, 1990 of March 5th. That was my birthday, basically. So I took a tray, and he came, immediately blessed the
Yellow rice.
clothes and things,
Clothes and-
basically, right? He took 2 pieces from there, and he's walking by, thinking, "Where are you from?" And he was walking. He was expecting what answer going to be. And I said, "Swami," here by a couple steps away, "Swami, from you." He turned around. "What?" "Swami, from you."
Wow.
Then he says, "Go."
Oh.
And for me, go, I don't know what go mean. I said, "My God, he's telling me, driving me away. Leave the ashram and go." I was scared. The other older gentleman next to me said, "Swami is calling you to go for interview."
Wow. Yes, yes.
There was shock.
Mm.
And by the time I went, in the interview room, I was the last to get in. And there used to be superintendent of police, forget his name.
Venkat Reddy.
It's from Hyderabad. He used to
Mr. Dora.
Mr. Dora. Mr. Dora was in it, basically, yeah. So he was leading a group, and so we went, and I was last. So moment I went in the mandir again, he's again asking me, my mentor farm. He was talking in Telugu to others. As soon as I entered, he said, "Where are you from?" In the interview room. I said, "Swami, from you." I don't know what he told in Telugu to the audience, people sitting in there, devotees. The big laughter. I knew his laughter on my account. I didn't care. For the whole hour, I was just glued as lotus feet, far off, maybe this distance, interview room. And I was enjoying my darshan, basically. That was first time in my lifetime to have that touch and experience of interview, what the sweetness is. And then he started talking Telugu and various stories of which later I met Uncle Dora, and he explained to me, Swami is talking about Ramayana and Vibhishana and Hanuman, and conversation, Vibhishana telling Hanuman, "You're so happy, you're so lucky, you get so much closer to Rama. And here I am, I'm remembering him, but I have no contact with him." So Hanuman tells, Swami says, Hanuman tells, "Vibhishana, brother, yes, I am to like you, do japa basically, but I'm also do his काम, his work.
I'm doing his karya. Yes.
And
his
so
work.
I trust his work and I do it. That's the only difference. So Swami is emphasizing bhajan and bhojan, but you have to also do work. And so devotion is a remembering the name of God, but you also do Sai Karyalaya. So that was kind of a lesson that Swami was teaching them. I was telling them, look, this American tells he's from God, he's from me. And you people are Indians, you don't even know that. So that was a laughter about when that happened, basically. So with that, towards the end of the interview, coming close to the end of the interview, Swami called me, "Hey, come with the front." So I was way back. I'm coming to a distance and kneeling by Swami's chair. And he says, "What is your name?" And I go, "Swami, my name is Ramesh." He says, "You know what meaning of Ramesh?" I said, "No, Swami, I don't know." He says, "Ramesh is 3 syllables. Ra, me, ish." He said, Ra means Ramta, and ecstasy.
Yes.
Me means in. Ish is Ishwar. One who is always in ecstasy of Ishvara, God, whose name is Ramesh. That is in meaning, basically. So, Swami, I love God. There's no doubt about it. I love God. And as I said, that you will be able to connect dots too. And in audience, probably no people understand. It's like having first contact with God, and He is telling your DNA. So he goes like this. The first time seeing him really materializing the item, it was a ring he materialized. It was, before this, it was a silver ring, and it has these Shivlinga stupa, and then linga mounted on that one in that shape, and had the 9 stones, 2 of each color, 18 altogether, basically. And it was beautiful ring of like Lord Shiva's lingam right in my hand, basically. And going, it was amazing. He told everybody, each was very, very captivated. But I knew, and only he knew, that 20 years ago when I left Pune to go to United States for higher studies, I was to go regularly every Monday fasting to Lord Shiva's worship in the temple. And I was to worship Lord Shiva's linga in the temple. So as I was leaving from there, to say bye to the priest, and priest says, this linga I'm giving it to you. It was about inch or longer and about 3/4 of fat around. He said, this will do you good. Keep it in, worship it. That lingam was worshipping for 20 years. Doing Abhishek every morning and still do, basically. So when he gave that ring to me, I said, Swami knows that I worship Lord Shiva, informal lingam. I worship every day, and this ring was more pertinent to me. That was a bigger closure again, Swami connecting my dots on my
just letting you know
path.
that all these years you've been worshipping, and it is me whom you have been worshipping. It has all come to me.
It is me, informal priest, working through him to give the linga for you to worship it. So he kind of closed the loop in that birthday.
Wow. And it was perhaps letting you know that even though you think that you came to me now, but I have been there with you. I have been with you for so long.
So long.
And I have been guiding your life.
Not only so long, even before. My childhood days.
Yes.
When we migrated from Pakistan, when the Britishers left, all that, he was always around with angels.
So that interview perhaps was a turning point. It was a very landmark moment.
It was a very big turning point. Not only sweetness of the interview and Swami knowing exactly about me and my family, but it was just the cementing all the journey of 11 years. 11 years of constantly going with no expectation. I never expected interview to come. That was shock, basically. But he wanted to make sure that my faith was pakka, that what he was talking. It felt like carpenter trying to hang a nice poster, and you make sure you put the poster on by making sure the nail is stuck.
Yes.
He hammers the nail, make sure the picture will stand on it. So God also is hammering the nail, where are you from, till make sure he assures that now this man is pakka. I do not know. In my sense, it takes 11 years. Some people connect Swami, which is very within next week.
No, in fact,
it is his.
Absolutely. No, in fact, when you think about your journey, he kept asking you, where are you from? Where are you from? And you kept giving those answers that you come from different geographical places. Yeah. But there was a time when you understood that you should tell, I come from you, but you had not internalized it.
Not internalized.
And so he caught you off guard when you wanted to say, when you had not completely were convinced within of saying that I have come from you. Yeah. He caught you off guard and you couldn't say it. And later, perhaps when it came to a stage where you were able to say it with conviction.
Yes.
He took you in and then he rewarded you.
Yeah.
I think it
and
was.
The rest became history, as you know, which is a lot of closeness. Swami discussing about my business issues, discussing about my conversations in business, talking about challenges in the business. He just became actually living partner in the game, or family member in the game. My youngest daughter would say, how many family members? She'll say, we are 6. When she'll make a dining table, when she's a baby, she would just say, one chair for Swami. We are six of us.
Wow.
After those convictions, she was very sure that
So he became the center of everyone's life,
exactly
heart of the family.
right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Um, I always say sometimes the children also come in your life to teach you lessons.
Oh, yes.
For they themselves carrying their own soul in them. So when this my youngest daughter, I'm just sidetracking now, and she was 4 years old. We had moved to Shelton, Connecticut from Roanoke, Virginia, and it was uh, 1980, late 1980. We had moved, so we go shopping, and the youngest is we're going into a big station wagon. We used to call green car and a red car. So we started the car, we went for a little stroll and shopping basically, and the car wouldn't start. Just conventional. Click, click. Finally, I drained the whole battery down. It wouldn't start. Maybe it's not, maybe a starter problem or things like that. I dumped it there. Said, children, let's go in the red car. We went red car, right? And you go for shopping. A couple hours later, we come back, and this car enters. He says, Dad, start the green car. I say, Arti, it's to go to garage. It's broken down. He said, no, you must start the car. I said, what makes you say I have to start the car? She said, you told us when anything goes wrong, you must take vibhuti. So while you all were jumping the car, I quickly ran into Swami's room, brought some vibhuti and applied on the car. So vibhuti has fixed the car.
Wow.
It started. Believe me, my heart was in my hand. He says, you said it'll work, right? Every time anything happens, we sick, you give vibhuti. I say, yes, but I cannot contradict, right?
Yes.
And she insisted so much. I took the key. They all sit in the car. And I said, Swami, you're putting the child's faith in your hands now. You better show us something. I put the engine down and turn it, and boom, it started.
Wow. What
So
a
I said,
moment.
children's faith,
Wow.
because their faith is unbiased, unknown to it. They believe the facts as they're told, they learn from there. There was a big lesson for us in the family. He says, this is how God reaches. We really sincerely pray, and this faith is online. Swami will never, never let you down. Never, ever.
And I think if we have that kind of faith, then they say with little faith, you can go to heaven, but with great faith, heaven will come to you. And I think those are the moments when heaven comes to you because of your faith.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think the credit goes to the parents and to Swami's grace for having given such souls. They are his children who have come through the parents, and he's taking care of them.
Yeah.
And he's solidifying that faith.
And in same way for my son, 1982, we had a lot of miracles in the house happening. And we never had Swami interviews. Everything was happening in my life. We never had an interview, but he was in our life. We no doubt about that. Whole house was full of vibhuti, TVs, TV station, TV on screen, all the walls, all Swami's pictures, any pictures of God basically. To the extent in car's dashboard. And so one day Swami says, in the living room, there are 4 pictures, quotes of Swami. One says that time, he probably was 5, 6 years old, says, I want vibhuti Swami to become vibhuti on these 4 pictures. It's every year not here. And so I said, you tell Swami. I was in puja room, you come to Swami, which probably he did. But next evening, the vibhuti came in my bedroom, on the wall picture in bedroom. They got upset. Baba, I wanted vibhuti to come here, not there. And that was here to say basically. Next, in a couple of hours, all those pictures had vibhuti on them.
Oh my God.
It's just like that time kids was conversing with Swami. Even the visiting kids were visiting Swami and playing games with him. And this is They want to catch Swami in real moment, how the vibhuti is coming. Yeah? So Swami distract them for one vibhuti here, they get distracted. They say, I want here, happen somewhere else, they get distracted, next unit they happen there. They could never. So but it was a challenge for the 2 weeks of constant storm of vibhuti happening in the house.
And through that, he's connect with those little hearts was becoming stronger and stronger.
And many little children would come. There were Balvikas kids. Again, in 1982, we from nooks and corners, from New York, from Boston, and just distant places. And since cause a constant flow of traffic, we don't know where the food was coming from, or food was multiplying. So everybody's fed, everybody happy, everybody's picture got blessed. They take it back and then bring in more people or send the word. It was like, a mela for 2 weeks in a row. It just so happened some devotees got the word when I started my journey in Swami in St. Louis. So friend from there, Mr. Moore was the central president, and other two families, they called me, are miracles still happening? We like to come. I said, come, but I don't know what's happening. But my niece, who was getting dreams of Swami, Swami said, tell your Wadhwani uncle that miracles continue. Some more devotees have yet to come to experience me. So, but then by next week they'll stop. So I said, this is the message and a dream basically. And so they decided to take a trip from St. Louis, which is 1,000 miles or so, from there to Connecticut. And they want you to come on a weekend. And so leave like Friday night, drive all the way, reach Sunday morning, go back basically for. So they chose to go 2 cars, but there was some change of timing. One car, Mr. Moore said, I would like to leave at 5 in the morning. And these people said, let's beat ourselves because we've got a long journey. Let's 3 o'clock. So one car with 2 couples left at 3 o'clock. And Mr. Moore and our family with other car, they left at 5 o'clock as planned. They both had directions from me how when you come in town, how to navigate yourself. There were no GPS those days for that matter. So one car comes up in the front, and at the last junction, you don't make a left or right. There was confusion. So he gets out the car, then he sees one more car stopping behind it. So listen, maybe he's a local person, he may guide it, He goes, opens the door there. It was Mr. Moore. Now, what is the logic behind 2 cars, 2 families in each, leaving it 2 hours apart, 1,000 miles away, reach at the same
time,
second, minute, right, tailing each other? How is it possible? So Mr. Moore, I also do not know. I guess same direction that you gave me, basically. So Mr. Carl says, now what do we do? The first car. So Mr. Carl, all of a sudden, another car stops by. He says, looks like you guys are here, the cross section coming through. So you guys are confused. He says, yes, it's early hours in the morning, and we do not know when we left right. The Shulman says, oh, I'm going that side only. You follow me. So there was another angel came in the life, brought them to intersection. He says, I'm going straight. Yes, you make a right, there's a house basically. So they went through, and the car at the back, Kalra made a right turn, the car at the back saw that car just vanished.
Oh.
Just vanished thin air.
Oh my God.
And then they came up the driveway, and it's wee hours of morning, around close to approaching 5 o'clock. Then he said, why should we disturb them? Well, let's go back to town, have a cup of coffee, and we'll come back later. So as they started driving back down, they sing bhajans. Bhajans are going in the house, 5 in the morning. So they move forward, and the bhajans stop. And they 4-2-3. They move back, the bhajans start. So Swami was playing games with them with bhajans, basically. Don't go, guys, stay back here. And finally, they decided, leave it out, we'll just knock the door. Lo and behold, we were fast asleep. We opened the door. But if you look at it, connecting dots again is about this. is Mr. Moore was left because he wanted to do Super Bhatam in the morning before he leaves.
Oh,
So that's why I left 5 o'clock, because he wants me to Super Bhatam in the morning, do Omkar, and then leave. So he arrived just in time so he can do Omkar in Sai Shilton Center in my house.
wow. Awesome.
So the music up and down
Swami
is
pulled him
important
through the
for them
bhajans,
to get the experience.
and he could do the Suprabhatam again the next day. Wow. I'm sure you must be having so many stories like this,
Yes.
unending stories of his intervention, of his glory. Wow. So the family was completely into Swami after that interview,
Completely.
and I guess after that every decision of your life was guided by Bhagwan, right from your profession to social life, personal life, isn't it?
I mean, he was literally in our life, I would say, and till date, even in post Mahasamadhi days. But at that point in time, when my company was working for ITT in Shelton, they got sold out to Alcatel, which was a French company, and so some people left the company, some took jobs locally, and I don't want to go to Europe. Neither do I want to leave Shelton, Connecticut, because it's very moderate climate, is green, no pollution, lots of trees. So, and we have science center in the house, Swami's Grace. Because when miracles happening in the house, my niece was visiting us with my brother from Africa, Ghana. She was getting dreams of Swami. So one time Swami told him, tell Uncle Wadhwani that Sai Nivas will become a Sai center. It was a given. Whether you make it or don't make it, does the question arise? Swami wants Sai Nivas to become a Sai center. So he has pre-chosen that place that he wants to make a Sai center. So in 6 months, there was area in the basement. Downstairs, as Swami, in the upper house is all 4 rooms occupied, and you have one room, Swami, we say Swami's room, and they're small. That's not a place we have a Samiti based your Sai center. So we can construct something downstairs. So we put Toran, right? We had Toran.
Yeah.
We put downstairs, Bhagawan, this is here. If this area is acceptable, then put your sign. Lo and behold, Vibhuti came on all the 5 parts of the Toran, basically.
Oh.
So that was given. And then we started Sai Center there. Now we are in love with Sai Center. It is Swami's mission. He chose it. It's not for my decision to close it or change job, go somewhere else. So we really want to stay there, basically. So when that situation came in, this question of moving out didn't arise, basically. So what was left? I said, I should do something on my own. So only low-hanging fruit there for me was open a mail order house. I was working in the ITT company. Those days PCs were coming nuanced, basically. I was working on a paperless office, all connectivity and all that. So I learned how to build PCs and personal computers, desktops that will be needed to make a paperless office. So I knew I could buy components, assemble it. So there was only low-hanging fruit that I could get started, basically. But I did not know what to do, how to start. And I'm not an entrepreneur by profession. I'm a scientist. So all of a sudden, the next day, I get Swami's picture in mail from a Sai sister who was to be here, but she had moved away to Indianapolis. So she sent me, Ramesh. She used to come and miracles happening. People travel from all parts of neighboring samitis. They used to drive down to a house 2 hours away. So she says, Sai brother, Ramesh, you're in good hands. It was Swami's picture of his hips with the hand behind. You see it like this, crossed, standing up this. You're in good hands. So I took that picture and said, okay, Sai sister, I was looking for Swami's guidance. Should I start my business or not start, basically? So I left that picture on the altar, and immediately Vibhuti came on 2 hands. So I said, that's the sign. Swami wants me to just quit and start something. I named Sai Systems, and then rest became history. The company, we started a mail order company with a couple of $600 on a credit card to buy an advertising space in a magazine, and where it is Sai System International Company doing technology services in health and technology with varied customers, banks, insurance companies, you name it. And so this all growth of the our business also tied to Swami. What this is him who is operating through us to make the business successful.
Wow. So and of course you couldn't think of any other name other than Size Systems because it was just him and his system that
It's his
was
system. Yes.
operating in your life.
Yes, exactly right.
And with time you got very involved also with Bhagwan's mission in various service projects also of
You mean ashram?
in the ashram, in the central trust. You started also helping the students in Prasanthi
Yeah,
Nilayam.
yeah. And of course, Sai Center in the house.
That continued, of course. So, how was the experience of working with the students and working with the university?
My working with university started like as much before the interview happened. Because I was, as I came through, I'm looking at seva happening all over ashram. I says, there's no place to give money. There's no box with deposit checks. There was no solicitation or anything. How does this big institution operate? Swami doesn't manufacture money. Right? So it was they're curious for years in my head going through how to do that basically. But I knew that at least I'm professional. I'm coming up here. My seva should be work some form with the institution here basically. But the hospital was not at those point in time. Uncle Chakravarti was kind of a mentor in that situation. He was a registrar those days. So it allowed me to get closer to Swami in that situation that, so I could interact with professors. I could work with students basically. So I was quite often with simple project we started in the beginning. We had small set up some seva fund internally to name basic. So all these students used need to have magazines, journals that foreign exchange was not available. So your libraries would not be able to get those magazines. So we got intermediates subscribe magazines for 3 campuses, so and the library going through. And so that the small way that seva started. And then as I started knowing the principals in the school, I got more closer to students and see a lot of artificial intelligence lab work going on in the computer center, basically. So I got involved in that. And when my first interview happened, I had a proposal in my hand to set up an AI lab in early stages. Your PhD students, doctoral students were working on it under Professor Prabhakar Rao used to be there, basically. So I gave proposal to Bhagawan, and Bhagawan accepted it. And he said, what is it? I said, this is from Sai Systems, your Sai Systems, and well, like to set it up further. He said, what are you doing for my boys? I said, I don't want to exaggerate. So Swami, I consult and bring few technology equipment for them, and so very happy, very happy. And so I got really connected through registrar to be able to move closer to the vice chancellor and the registrar and the students and professors. It kind of every time you go ask Swami, ye karu ka nahi karu, things like that. But it just happened I felt with connecting with the professors and my love basically to spend my some quality time doing seva. I never had any interviews with them, but I can work with students. I was kind of amazed in terms of the intellectual capacity of your research scholars. The understanding, despite varied I would say very items that you do in terms of curriculum, whether it's sports or whether it is research or whether it is cultural programs. The diversity I could not comprehend in any educational system. I was amazed with all of that, how multidimensional and multitasking the whole organization is of student body. and professors and teachers working in sync. And I again started connecting dots because professors do perfect job because they also know Swami knows everything. So occasionally I was sitting in darshan, I would see Swami going to children asking, "Aaj laddu kaisa tha? Idli kaisa tha?" I said, what a question to ask. So Swami lovingly asked it, and then I said, one day I saw Swami going, "Well done. Today idli was very hard, basically." So it just the infrastructure that you had with Swami on overriding everything else, that each one of you, your toes were kind of grounded not to make any mistake. And so I was amazed with the system that Swami created. That he knows everything, and yet he says, "I don't know anything." He knows he's doing everything, but he gives credits to you all and to us, basically, when we are doing not anything. So it's like says, man does nothing but talks. God does everything, but he does not talk. So those are kinds I've felt from students, from professors, from your staff, as also management up in the hill. It was amazing to me, and that's why I love to come and interact with students and do whatever little I could do, basically. That's how the journey started of seva, and Swami kept me ingrained in it until really I realized I really want to do that, to really give myself. And what I'm giving myself, I'm giving his back to him. That feeling had already arrived in me. And so he just solidified that faith over time. And then, I just got much closer. And then they allowed me to interact with the hospital systems, PSI systems were coming up there. So he allowed me to do a technology project for the hospital systems. He kind of motivated me in that sense. You're talking about how I got close to doing project works up there. Is the hospital foundation was done on birthday of 1990, right?
Yes.
And 1991 was the
Inauguration.
opening. So in that summer of May of 1991, we came to propose to Swami about technology implementation for the hospital and opportunity to see if he can do something about it. He kind of get verbal okay, but then that time I brought samples of the PCs that we're making to show to Swami, and I was in Whitefield every day having that small handheld PC in my hand. So one day before even summer course started, Swami agreed to come to the small computer center in the Whitefield hostel. Remember the hostel?
Hostel, yes.
So he invited him. Professor Sampath was there.
Yes, the Vice Chancellor.
Myself and Shiva. I used to be your IT coordinator from Ceylonese guy. So, and bunch of other one or two students, basically. Swami came and we opened up the components, opened up PCs and established. It was such a lovely, heartfelt meeting with Bhagawan. So here we are telling him intricate details of it, and Sampath is explaining to him how this will be good for the hospital, for recording all the patient histories and data, and clinically how it'll be beneficial for the doctors to have all the information. And Swami said, I know. But he yet allows us to speak, basically. And at that moment, it says, Swami, we can send this, but before in inauguration time, he put nice hand around my shoulder and speaking in my ear that, be careful, don't overdo it. Just gently, but just Swami, it's all about you. And then we shipped everything here and cleared the customs. And when the equipment arrived, if you remember that 1 week before the hospital, there was heavy rains.
Rain.
Even on the 2 days before the hospital inauguration, chandeliers were going on in the center
Dome.
entrance, basically. And here we are, 48 hours the hospital inaugurated. I said, how can this really possible? There's no fumigating happening. The operating theater is not be fumigated. Then you put 4 patients on there to operate it, and you hear the pouring rains. And last minute work still going on from each room to room, basically. And in that point in time, when the equipment arrived, the reason I'm telling the story is you'll appreciate it. When the equipment arrived, I saw me what to do with it. I cannot load it in the hospital. It's so much work is going on, and midst of I wouldn't way to park it because even though the rooms are not ready, what you're going to use it for? He said, take it down and put it in the computer center in the university college. So I unload it, and Swami's load. He says, okay, now take few and build it, and I'll come for tomorrow. I'll come and do a demonstration. I'll see it. Exactly, maybe 20 hours, morning darshan, and then go back and convince the vice chancellor. He was convinced. Professor was, if he tell you, it's going to come. I talked to registrar. He says, Swami is just so busy. I mean, it's nothing that important. Basically, he's going to hospital twice a day, making his rounds. And I talked to principal that time, forget the name, and so I worked with Mr. Seva, and I had one of my colleagues from USA, Sai Devotee, and one of the employees also had come here. Says, let's put this thing together. We worked all night till wee hours of 5 in the morning, put everything together with couple desktops, a server, bunch of wires floating around, and Shiva says, Ramesh, the wires hanging look very shabby. When Swami sees it, then he would not like it. So I said, Shiva, it's a demonstration. Now you don't do it. It's working. It's like Murphy's Law. You don't break anything, don't change anything. Let the land work as designed up there. And when Swami comes, you all stand around it, so he'll not see it. And I go running after Swami's house, and I can't meet him. So I can't be his uncle says, is he coming here? Says, not an agenda. I do not know it. But, right. So I came back. I stood. Sampath was inside. I said, stand by the gate. I stood by the gate, and Swami's car coming back. He saw me. Car was speeding up, going through. I said, so he didn't stop. I said, okay, it's not happening. But he knows it, what we're doing. That's fine. But from next gate, it came in.
Oh.
Right to computer center. We welcomed him. It's such a joyful event. He does akshata on all of us, rice, grains and all of us. He came in, and first thing he saw was wires dangling. He said, what is this? He pledged pardon, basically. Again, all-knowing God, he knows everything ahead of time. He don't need to see it, basically. We did a whole demonstration, and he kept his promise. The thing to learn was for me, when it comes to Bhagawan, nothing is more or less important. Everything is important to him. If he promised something, he will do it. Man may not keep his promise, but God keeps his promise. That demonstrations were not that important in big picture, basically. But those who participated, they benefited. Bhagawan coming up there, he spent 25 minutes with us, seeing all of it, and with patience, and then giving us all Pad Namaskar and giving blessings to everybody that we were there, and distributing prasadam. So, too many lessons that way, that how perfect Bhagawan is. Every step for him is so important. Every promise he keeps is so important. He sees the greater good in everything that we are doing. It is our love that attracts him to us. That's all. And that night, my friend, I went to the hospital to see. It was mud everywhere. It was your feet was pouring into the soft mud, basically. And next morning, when you saw what was it? It was green grass. Flowers coming from the ground up there. Rain is shining rain up there. And God is going up and down the corridor there. So, I am ready. God is ready, but Prime Minister is not ready. He came an hour late, basically. But all the visitors they had the joy of the Swami's darshan, exclusive who were there, and some of us fortunately got the passes to go inside the dome. When Swami comes in, delicately introduced Wadhwani, ABs, everybody personally, Prime Minister said, these are my sevaks who have done it, basically. Such a gratitude the Bhagawan really has in what a little each one of us does.
Wow. When you think about it, you know, what a priceless opportunity he gave you um, to be part of the um medical mission. Yeah, I think the hospital inauguration was a game changer. It was a trailblazing event in the
Yes.
Sai mission,
Yeah.
and he gave you the opportunity to be part of it. I
Yeah.
think it was such a crowning moment of your relationship with Bhagwan. I think, and he
Yeah.
prepared you. When you think about it, he prepared you for it over so many uh, years and decades.
Business he gave it to me, he prepared me for the event should happen. He prepared every moment. Then I in my life, keep connecting dots. That's what kind of look forward to it. That every step in the past, he has prepared me
Yes,
for the next step I'm going to be at. To the
yes,
point, any crisis in the business too, he's well prepared. But the fact remains is, Swami knows 2 years in advance what is going to happen, and be careful.
and he warned you. Wow, and he had protected you.
And particular pointed dot, which just came out true 2 years later. So you can see any minute details. Swami's hand was there in guiding many different ways. I always tell Swami, whatever it is, it's your grace. And somebody says, yes, it is my grace. Sometimes acknowledge. Even till this date, this grace is not gone anywhere. You pray to him and problem resolves.
And the company has grown, and it continues to grow.
And I'll tell one more you may not include in the conversation. It is one point in time I had a partner in the game, in the early 90s. And we are 50-50 partners. And without taking names of the partner, he walked away from the business, but he carried the ownership, 50% still with him. He told me, I can declare bankruptcy. But we both are personal guarantors to the bank. So he's equal to lose more, but he knew that I will not declare bankruptcy, but Sai name is more precious to us as a family. It doesn't mean anything to him, right? So I won't let that name do something which is not good to my conscience. If bank owes us something, we have to pay the bank. There's no doubt about that. I said, how can you walk away? We just walked away. So I wanted to immediately get in touch with Swami and get the word that time. I think it was 92 or so. So I knew the protocol that I cannot call anybody in here spices, a devotee saying, take my message to Swami. Right? If even attempt to send a telex or send a fax, I will take it to Swami. That's the most they would do. But I was in a dire situation that I want to get the word to Swami directly in that sense. So I knew Professor Sampath in the sense that his soft-heartedness. And you had that one vice chancellor and the only one vice chancellor. You will never get that kind of person in that seat. Very compassionate, kind, loving. So he says, don't worry, sir, I will take to Swami. And so he said, tomorrow morning, it was evening here. So in the meantime, I connected with a Sai family, the regional officers in the region, late Bill Clegran and Nadine Clegran, very clairvoyant. They used to run guided meditation classes they used to run. So I said, Mr. Clegran, I have a request. I would like to find out in meditation, see what you knew, because I have this problem with my partner. So he put me in trance, and he says, when he came out, he says, I cannot tell you. I'm just seeing 3 labels, BBB. So what does it mean? I do not know. Better Business Bureau? I said, no. I don't know. This it was just glare, that's all, because we could not get any answer to it. Next morning, I called Professor Sampath, and he literally was there in the veranda front seat. He sits. I saw Swami into his door open. He says, Sampath, what are you doing here? You should be in the Vice Chancellor office. He said, no, Swami, a small prayer from Wadhwani. He said, tell Wadhwani, I know everything. All will be all right. I will take care. I will take care of the bank and I'll take care of partner Bob. So then we connected dot. He will take everything all right. B meant Baba, Bob, Baba, bank, Bob. Baba will solve the bank problem. Baba will talk partnership problem. Immediately, my friend, immediately, within the next 10 days, I went to the bank with full confidence with Swami's message. I said, give me one more chance. My partner's walking away. So the bank connected me with another bank. That bank agreed to give me a little over this $500,000 loan on a 6-year term. With all knowing situation, the history of the company's got some financial situations. And I got that in 10 days. It generally takes months to get that. So when I got that loan, I established new company, System International. The old company's loan was paid off with that money that came from the bank. But not only that, shortly thereafter, connect me much larger bank, I got 10 times more business that I could finish the loan within 1 year.
Wow.
And in the end, in the year or so, when I came to Swami, he says, I'll take care of the Bob problem still. He surrendered the shares and everything became one.
Awesome.
Bank, Bob, Baba.
I think, when he says, I will take care, he ensures that you're covered in every way.
Yeah.
It's just that you got to have that faith. And I think time and again, he has pulled you out of situations in such unimaginable ways that I think there will never be a moment where you feel that, oh, what am I going to do? I think you're just all the time filled with that confidence that Swami is there with me and everything will be fine, right?
When everything falls apart, you not lose faith, but your heart is bubbling.
Yes.
And there he will push you the cliff, but hold you.
Yes.
As he said, no, he has that knack to take you last minute.
Yes.
And pull you back and take care of.
Wow.
But connecting dots, as we all know, he is the one who's the wire puller in everyone. So when time comes, he will go back into the heart of the banker to make sure get your problem solved. That particular day you went was auspicious day that he pre-chose the meeting to happen. Like it's playing a chess game, and he controls all the movement of chess particles. Each individual is under his control. So, but when his grace is there, all elements fall in place and things just happen. We just go rest. We just got to wait and see.
And when you think about it, it has been such an exhilarating journey for you, Bhagawan, entering your life, and after that, completely taking over and ensuring that every aspect of your life has been guided by him, and making you part of his mission. I think
part of the mission, exactly.
That is such
a small role to play in the mission.
Yes, that is such a huge blessing. People have, there are people who have received his love, but he gave you very beautiful roles to be part of the mission. And
I mean, when I came to Swami after the banks and problems solved, he called me. It was about November time frame in late that year in 1992. That I took Swami to grace everything. Okay, yes, it's my grace, but gently pat my cheek. You didn't do your job. You're the president of the company. You let the other partner flounder with money,
Mhm.
you were not watching over him. Lesson
Oh.
learned.
Oh.
But I made sure no harm will come to you. So he said, he's not sure the share. He says, I know the Bob is creating a problem for you, but he will not harm you. And a year later, they got solved.
Mm.
So, like, delicately, he's watching me as not me, all of us in that sense. He has own ways, each one of us, how he connects and solves the issues. And he's step ahead of us.
Yes.
He knew the issue would happen ahead of us. He's pre-solving to you. It's a good fortune that we're able to connect the dots to understand that how he is really watching over us. It's not just business, it's the family, the children, and their growth, and the spouses they have chosen, grandchildren. His grace is upon all of them. It's mind-boggling.
And I'm sure.
And for a person who's just nobody.
True. Yeah. Who had nobody and who was indeed, when you went to the US, you just didn't. Uh, you are, as you were saying, you didn't even have money to come to India, and he had to give you the money to come to
Yes,
India.
yes.
Yes. And I'm sure after that, you've had many more interviews with Swami after the 90s, and I think you've had many more occasions of very beautiful interactions and opportunities of divine proximity, right? After the 90s.
After that, then sequence of interviews were happening. And I'm sure this may be common, but I thought it's special to me. Every time someone would ask me, how are your friends?
Oh.
Someone, they're good. This, the 3-4 years in consults. Well, how are your friends? They says, Swami, they're all good. Then one day I ask you, how are your friends? Swami, you are my only friend. Ah, everybody else, chan 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 is a friend. No chan chan, no friend.
Ah.
God's always a friend.
Hmm. If you
So I used to
have.
come ashram, see people, socialize here and there, and he didn't like that.
Hmm.
But certainly he will tell me that you are here for God. Be attached to God, not to the world. Not that the people are friend, but you try to pull me to say, you come here to be with me. When you're here, you utilize your time to come with me. When partnership failed, when they came in 1992, when NAP says, no more partners. I'm your partner.
Oh, wow.
Because this is not a financial partner. My door is open. You come anytime, I will call you and talk to you. You go running around, everybody here asking what you do next. Why do you do that? When I am here for you. Like a blanket check of His grace.
I think that's such a powerful message and assurance. You don't need any other insurance. You have his assurance.
Exactly right. And we're trying to learn and also family to just challenge. Business means challenge. Business means problems. But we need to learn to surrender to Him when we can't solve the problem, because He'll solve the problem.
And he will solve the problem in a manner that you would have not imagined.
Yes. One time we imported there was Shiva computers and used to be big mailer house. We came with a partner to sell products to them, components from Taiwan. Instead, he convinced us to buy things from him. So about 1,000 hard drives when we were PC business. Blanket check, gave him a letter of credit. Hard drives arrived. 2 days later, the customs officers in the United States came and locked my door, locked the whole warehouse. That means my production stopped completely. He said, these drives you imported are illegal. I didn't know. Sir, we know it's illegal. I bought from this ABC source, Shiva Computers. I paid this way. Nobody told us they're illegal, basically. Those devices are made from in United States by to be shipped to India and for them to put the drives in some other product and sell the products. They cannot sell back to United States because they are sold at discounted price. Meant for the so it was wrong deal. So you wait, they seal the warehouse. We'll see you in the court when your date comes. Magistrate, when magistrate calls you. So, but now everything locked up. We pleaded innocence. My wife always used to have a God jar. She write letters. She never physically gave letters to me here. She write letter and put it in the God jar. I've done my best. I do not know what to do. No, please help me. Every time she does, and so that's the message. So Swami, my apology, our apology. We did this innocent error, but we were not aware of it. Kindly help. 2 days later, क्या होता है? The same officer came, unsealed, says, slap. He says, next time don't do that when you're importing products from elsewhere. Let go.
And he let you go. So you don't know what happened.
Magical jar. And that faster than the sending telegram or telex to Swami. 1993 or 1992, at that point, when partnership issues were happening. So when my heart problem, and during my partnership separation problems, issues that I mentioned earlier. So I went for checkup to cardiologist and the surgeon, and so happened I was positive for the heart issue. And they wanted to operate on me. It was June. And they wanted consent from Sunita, my wife, saying, we like to operate on him. Yeah. So she said, no, I cannot let you touch my husband till I get permission from Swami, my guru, basically. So I said, okay, well, how long? She said, we are going to go there in November. It was June. So Swami said, doctor says, ma'am, your husband's walking time bomb. You want to wait that long? She said, give us some medical therapy, some medication so you can control the angina problem. Severe angina problems, no doubt about that. So he said, they gave me medicine you put on tongue whenever angina happened, and some constant 24/7 patch on my arm to just keep the angina control. We suffered a lot of pain. The full faith that we're going to Bhagawan for the inauguration. And for, as you know, I told you, because busy with computer seva basically. 2 days after, 25th or so, Swami gives a private interview. And that point in time, Swami calls and tells me, what do you want? Like, Swami, Baba, we just want you. So you want me? You want everything. I said, yeah, Swami, we want you basically in our life. He said, and then quickly went out like that. With his love, he made a bracelet with Om on it. And then he passed this to everybody. So he says, telling us, I am this, I'm not this. I am this, I'm not this. That early in the years, he transcribed to me, just don't be attached to my physical body. I'm far beyond that. I'm all pervasive. I am home. So this has been my protection in that sense. So when Swami materialized this, then he called for a private interview. Me and my wife and my friend was with me, who helped me in the computer center project. He had difficulty wearing. They took him a couple of minutes because he couldn't untangle it. And he was saying, I don't know why it's happening. He was angry, sort of. I was just touching very parts of my arms. Having no under what he was doing. And finally got in there. And then he tells Sunita, what do you want? He says, Swami, my husband's health is not well. Not heart problem. My husband's health is not well. He looks at me and just goes, no heart problem. And that's how he tells Sunita, says, Swami, they're saying doctors and medicines and operations. Amma, no medicine, No operation. I'm in him, I'm around him, I'm above him. It is my duty to take care of him. No harm will come to him. This is my Raksha. To that day, 1992, to here, more than 30 plus years, but heart is safe. So when the closure time happened, I always look at this one and says, He's here. He's with you. He will answer all your prayers. He's all pervasive. Kind of he embedded that thought in me that point in time.
He's Om. He's eternal.
He's eternal, all pervasive. Om, He's creation.
And he's there with you all the time.
All the time.
And he healed you and he covers you all the time.
He healed me instantaneously. Just His command. His word is His command. His sankalpa is His command. And He says that like all the elements of earth could just come together and fulfill His will, whether this or this or this or whatever. It is all elements just take over and just happens in real time.
Wow. And since you are so involved and you were so clear about using whatever he has given in his service, he wanted to make sure, he ensured that you are taken care of. You never ever felt that, oh, I am doing. You always felt he has given and it is going back to him. And that's why I said he's my responsibility. I will look after him.
Exactly. Yeah. I could never connect the dot, but you connected the dot. The exact right. He's the universe, all pervasive. Consciousness, right?
Yes.
Which all pervasive. They're conscious in us basically. And he connected our conscience and consciousness with the super consciousness. If you only can, we as humans can understand that He is Atma as each one of us and He's always protecting. If we have that kind of constant sense of brainwashing ourselves first and then building faith that no harm will come when He's in front of you because He's ahead of you before you know it. So the universe is giving it to you. You're giving back to the universe. It is His, you're giving back to Him.
Yes.
How can I take ownership of it? No, yeah.
So beautiful. I mean, what keeps ringing in my mind is how Bhagawan explained your name. Ramesh means someone who is in ecstasy all the time in the glory of God. And Bhagawan has blessed you to lead a life like that, where every day, every moment, no matter what the ups and downs, but you are above it, even though you go through it, but you don't allow all that to get affected. You don't allow that to affect you because you are in ecstasy with Him.
Yes,
And I think that's a very powerful lesson.
Spirituality may be as hard as we think, as hard we want to make it because there's read so much in scriptures and they're so complicated that it's very difficult to connect the dots. And then more you read, the more you confused become. The Swami's teachings are like ABC.
Yes.
Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. We can't oblige, speak obligingly. And on and on and on. Simple. But you can take each sentence and make a study circle out of it, like you guys do in your radio sessions, basically. Is how to do it. So Swami has kind of given us a very simple mantra to us. But Swami loves to be grateful every time. Swami loves to have faith every time. I mean, the greatness of faith is that things fall in place and you do seva. So, very simple thing the Swami has taught us. I don't know when it happened. But Swami says, look behind in all your past years and be grateful for all the angels in your life. Look behind and thank God. God means the angels, and each one of us have angels in our life from childhood to where we are today. And each angel is propped up one step higher to where we. It's just not like He is controlling our life through the angels in our life. So be grateful all the time. That's all He wants us to be grateful to everything that we have and accept it. Then He says, look forward. Tomorrow also have faith. Look forward and trust God. You call God and He'll send angels. He's not come down from heaven with 4 arms and come help you. He is the one who's sending the angels to you to solve your problem every day. So if you have that trust on God and gratitude, then he says, look around and serve God. Now it's your time to become an angel. Are you ready for it? All along you enjoyed the angels. Can you become an angel now? So after only those two steps, the third steps, he now gives you opportunity to serve.
Yes.
And with serve, going through it's not only service, start building empathy. You see yourself and others in form of Atma. When the first interview told me, he says, Ramesh, you're not Ramesh. Ramesh is the name of your body, he said. Your name is Atma. I used to always write since then, Ramesh Atma Wadhwani on my letters to everybody. It's just to reinforce myself that I'm Atma.
Wow.
I'm not anybody else. Externally, yes, I'm Ramesh. Right? So look around and serve God. Then fourth, he says, look inside and see God. So सब बोलते हैं you can see God inside. It's not possible. When rubber meets the road, how can you see God inside, right? So all these three steps prepares you to be able to love yourself, see God inside you. When you help others, you see empathy, you start feeling their love in you, right? Then finally he says, Swami, I'm going to give you moksha. Look through and be God. Can you be Jivan Mukta? And can you start now living like Swami and become Swami? So see how he is trying to make us perfect, not one day, but over our lifespan.
Yes.
He's with us.
And today you have been so kind to add to that repository of his glory by sharing your story, and I'm sure this will inspire so many, because the interactions with Swami and the way Bhagawan has guided your life, this will remain for posterity as a huge beacon of inspiration for so many who are now discovering Swami, as well as those who want to be part of his mission.
Yes.
And it is really his grace that he has sent you to the studios today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my joy to add few more experiences to your treasure chest that you share with the world at large.
Thank you, sir. Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram. Thank you, Bhagawan.
Sathya Sai Shatavarshadam